Marty Czech thought he had his life figured out with what he wanted to do. But after a talk with a friend, his plans changed.
I've been a real estate agent for 15 years, and I moved over to a new brokerage in 2011, I believe, and the owner of that brokerage approached me about 2 or 3 years ago to partner with him on a brewery. He knew that I had some contacts in the brewing industry. I had a passion and a love for craft beer, so he said, this has been something he had been thinking of, and he wanted me to partner with him. And after a little bit of thinking, I said, yeah, I think that'd be really fun. I'd be excited to do that.
Czech's love for craft beer came when he came to St. Cloud.
It started, I came to St. Cloud in 1996 to go to St. Cloud State. But my sister came up shortly after I did and started working at O'Hara's Brew Pub in St. Cloud here as well. And that's where I was first really introduced to craft beer. My parents bought me a beer making kit probably around age 20, so a little bit before I'd actually gone out and had some craft beer. And I tinkered around with it a little bit, but my first really deep dive into craft beer had been at O'Hara's. So I tried the beers that they had. They had some seasonal things, some fun things like that, and it just kind of progressed from there.
But how did the name Pantown come into play? Well, Marty explains how his partner chose it, and also explains the historic importance behind the name.
Noel had that. He actually, again, years before he even approached me, had already been thinking about brewery names and things that he might do. So he had come up with the Pantown name, and Pantown is tied into the location that we're in. We're very much in the heart of Pantown, which is the area of town that Samuel Pandolfo had built up in the 1917. I think is when he started building houses for the Pan Motor Company. So if you go just across railroad tracks where Electrolux is right now, that was all the Pan Motor Company, and we are just right out the back door from where that all was.
With all the hard work of starting up his brewery, it has been an emotional ride for over the past 2 years.
It's funny, emotionally, it's almost underwhelming. Some of the excitement, over the course of 2 years, some of the excitement just wears off and just becomes work. So I'm still excited and passionate about craft beer, but sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, there's still so much work to do. But as we get closer, we did finally get over that hump of getting all of our inspections approved, and now we're ready to start brewing today. We'll be brewing our first batches of beer. It's starting to get exciting again. So it's a little tough because there's just so much going on, but yeah, it's exciting again.
With the brewery opening up soon, Marty hopes that the brewery is another place for beer craft lovers to enjoy.
One of my favorite things about breweries, if you go to local breweries, not a lot of TVs on the wall. So you can find yourself sitting at a bar or at a table, especially if there's a lot of people there, with a stranger, next to you, whatever, and people will strike up conversations. You'll talk about, a common passion, which is obviously craft beer, different breweries, things you've had, what your experiences are, and it's fun to get to know people that way, and that's kind of what I want the atmosphere here to be. We'll have 60 to 70 seats on the main floor, and then upstairs we're going to have another 30 seats or so where we'll have a couple of high top tables, and then some conversation seating where you've got some couches and some coffee tables and things like that, a little bit more relaxing. We will probably have some beer ready right around the second week of December. A definite open date, we have not set one yet. We don't know exactly when we're going to open. We'll try a couple of small invite-only events to test out beer, test out some serving protocols, how things work out, but I would say watch our Facebook page. We will announce it right before we open. So.